Hey everyone, I'm here today to take a look at the Mattel Jurassic Park Hammond collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here's a quick look at the packaging front and back. So it's got the Jurassic Park logo there, nice picture of the T-Rex, and then a photo of the T-Rex from the movie. I'm a bit late to the party with this review because I had trouble getting hold of this in the UK. My original pre-order got cancelled and then I just couldn't find it anywhere for a decent price. This sold out pretty quickly in the UK, but I've heard that it's actually shelf warming in Canada and maybe America. Go over the articulation quickly. In the jaw, it's got a joint at the top and the bottom part of the jaw and the skull, but they're connected by a ratchet, so you can't just open the bottom half of the mouth on its own. If you open one part, the other part will open automatically as well. And that's got kind of 3 stages of being open, halfway and then all the way, and then the tongue is articulated as well inside, so you can have that sticking up or down however you want. There's articulation at the base of the skull connecting to the neck, and then where the neck connects to the main body. The neck part there is actually a rubbery plastic though, it's kind of soft rubber, whereas the rest of this toy is a harder plastic. Then you've got articulation in the middle of the torso there, so you can move that from side to side and up and down a bit as well. Then the arms have ball joints at the shoulders, the wrists and the elbow. Though the shoulder ones on mine, they'll go forward and backwards well enough, but when I try and get them to move in and out, they're really solid. I've even heated them up and tried to move them, but I just cannot get that ball joint to move in and out at the shoulder, and I don't want to risk snapping it by pushing it too hard. Then the thighs will pivot outwards like that, so you can have them kind of doing the splits or going inwards. Then obviously that will go forward and backwards as well. There's a double joint at the knees there, so you can get some nice articulation there. And then you've got 2 points of articulation at the ankle there and there. It will swivel out to the side as well as going forward and backwards. Mine's a little bit loose on this side, so every now and then he will kind of fall forward on that because it's just a little bit too loose. But I could put some nail varnish in there to tighten that up. And then when you get to the tail, there are 2 points of articulation where the tail connects to the body and then kind of halfway down the tail there. So that moves. And then this last section of the tail here is like a rubbery plastic with a wire inside, so you can bend that, and we see this on quite a few of the Hammond collection dinosaurs. They have the rubbery tail with wire inside to bend however you might want to. And with the articulated hands on the new T-Rex, it means that if you want to, you can either have them facing downwards like a typical Jurassic Park T-Rex, or have them facing palms inwards, which scientists now think is probably more accurate to how they actually were in real life. Unlike the mainline T-Rexes, this bit of plastic here is very soft and rubbery and fleshy, which feels really kind of gross and I like that though. It's almost like the battle damage stuff, you know, and they have the fleshy innards, so that's very rubbery and fleshy there. So that bends when you close the mouth. And the tongue's kind of a softer plastic as well. So the mouth looks great there. Some nice detailing. The eyes are a clear plastic with the pupil inside, almost like a marbly effect, which is a good concept, but it doesn't quite work out because you can only really see the pupil at certain angles. If I move the camera down, you can see the pupil disappears. So from most angles, you can actually only see the yellow of the eye. There's only really one angle where the pupil shows up, which looks a bit strange. But it does look better than just having the painted eyes. It's just a shame it doesn't quite work out in terms of the pupil disappearing at different angles. The sculpt looks incredible. You can tell the extra detailing in this compared to a mainline T-Rex, which I'll show you when we get to the comparisons. This T-Rex is based on how it looks in the first movie, so there's none of that scarring that we see on most of the mainline Rexes that are based on the Jurassic World look, where it's got the battle damage from the fight with the Velociraptors. One thing with this though is that each section is a slightly different colour. Like the colours don't blend so well because that neck piece is a rubbery plastic. You can see it's lighter than the harder plastic on each side, so it doesn't quite match. And then when you get to the torso there, the colours aren't quite matching either. And once again you get to the tail and it's darker there for that section, and then for the rubbery piece at the end it gets lighter again. So you can see how much lighter the rubbery part of the tail is compared to that section there, which is darker, then gets lighter again. There are so many paint details in this, like little bits of wash, like over the nose there's some white on the bonier parts. And you've got a lot of black speckleding around the chest area. The colour's not quite matching doesn't really bother me that much, even though it is an imperfection. It's in a way not that noticeable really when you've just got it on the shelf looking at it. And you've got a lot of black stripes all along the back here, which I've never noticed in the film. In the film, the T-Rex in the original movie looks more just grey all over, but this is a lot browner and got a lot more details like these stripes and things. Not that I'm complaining about the extra detail, and you can see that back nail there is painted on the foot, and that toenail tends to get left unpainted on the mainline T-Rexes. Same with the nails on the little hands there, they're not usually painted. I love the sculpt on the face there, it just looks fantastic with all the paint detail and the wash bringing out those details. Now for a comparison, here it is with a T-Rex from the mainline, and you can really tell the difference in quality. Even though those mainline T-Rexes are nice, this Hammond collection one blows them out of the water with the extra detail and the paint apps. It's a little bit bigger as well. You can see this regular line T-Rex has all those scars on the body and the head there from the battle with the velociraptors that this Hammond collection one doesn't have. And I'm glad about that, because it's nice to have a T-Rex that's based on the original look that doesn't have all those scars and things, because we've had loads with the scars from the main Mattel line. You can see here the difference in the head sculpt. I mean, I thought these mainline Rexes had some great detailing, but there's so much extra on the Hammond collection T-Rex there. And the extra paint detail makes a massive difference as well. And here it is next to the red Rex we got recently, which is my other favourite T-Rex in the line. I love the red Rex because of nostalgia, but this is definitely the best quality T-Rex Mattel have given us. Maybe the best quality T-Rex we've had from anywhere. I don't know if there are any better T-Rexes in terms of articulation and paint detail and the size from other toy companies. And here you can see how much better that rubbery plastic looks, that fleshy bit inside the mouth, compared to where it's just two bits of plastic that kind of slide over each other on the mainline T-Rexes. You can see it better there, the way they just slide in over each other. I really like the rubbery effect on the new one. And here's a comparison with the Hammond collection Velociraptor, which is also based on the original Jurassic Park movie design. I'm so glad I got this T-Rex finally. I mean, it is gorgeous. Yeah, there's a few minor nitpicks I've got, like the shoulder articulation's a bit too tight and the colours don't quite match up, which is maybe the biggest issue, but at the same time I don't notice it that much unless I'm really looking for it. And the whole thing with the pupil in the eye not showing up at certain angles as well, but in general this thing's gorgeous, and the eyes do still look better than the painted eyes. I don't know if I'm ever going to need another T-Rex from Mattel now though. That's the only problem with this. They may have put themselves out of some sales, because once you've got this T-Rex, none of the others are ever going to compare. I can't imagine they're going to make a T-Rex in the mainline that's ever going to look as good as this. I just hope we get the buck and the doe from the Lost World in the Hammond collection soon, because the buck and doe they've made for the mainline were rubbish really. Just cheap repaints, not very good at all, and a bit too small as well. I mean, the buck should at least be the same size as this Rex, if not a little bit bigger, I think. Imagine this T-Rex alongside the two green ones from the Lost World together. I mean, that would be so awesome. So that's my look at the Hammond collection T-Rex. Best T-Rex we've ever had. If anyone knows of any better T-Rexes from other toy lines, let me know, but I can't imagine there's one as good as this that's the same size with all this detailing and articulation. So let me know in the comments what you think of the Hammond collection T-Rex, and if you want to see the buck and the doe from the Lost World in the line, or maybe this T-Rex but from the Jurassic World design with the extra scars and things. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time.